For years, Greg Abbott has withheld money from Texas public schools, and then people want to know why Texas public schools are failing. Guys, I don't know if you know this, it takes money to educate kids. It takes money to pay the utilities. It takes money to pay insurance, to get transportation, to bring these kids to school, to feed these kids, to have supplies for these kids, to pay the teachers and the staff to educate these kids. But Greg Abbott has been sitting on a surplus of money for billions with a B, billions of dollars for years that he has refused to give to Texas public schools. And then when he did give it to Texas public schools, the basic allotment for students, $6,160. He gave $55 more per student, $6,215. That's what he raised the basic allotment. For 6 years, we dealt from 2019 to 2025. We had that basic allotment of $6,100 whatever. And then just last year, he raised it to $6,200 something, just $55. That doesn't even keep up with inflation. Inflation is like 26 or 27%. At the bare minimum, that is $7,800 of a basic allotment per kid. That would cover inflation if that was the basic allotment, but that's not it. We got $6,215 per kid. So districts are in a financial crisis because they can't pay their bills. And what happens when you get in a financial crisis? You have to start cutting positions. You cut teachers, you cut interventionists, you cut librarians, you cut counselors, you cut all of these programs, fine arts programs, you cut these programs from these schools, and guess who suffers? The kids who are going in and taking this test that they are failing because they don't have the things that they need to pass it. And don't even get me started on the fact that we are basing all of this state takeovers on one test. One test. I am sorry, but one test does not determine what a kid learns an entire year. It doesn't. And then the state goes in and they take over, and a year later or 2 years later, they say, oh, look at the data. Look at the data. Look how well these kids are doing on the test. Their scores have been raised to this, to this. Well, yeah, they've been raised. You want to know why? Because you have locked them in a jail cell of a classroom and shoved test prep down their throat for the last 180 days. Of course, they're going to do better. But what is the long-term impact of that? Have you looked at that? Have they actually learned anything, or have they just learned how to pass a test?